Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the Speaker Aquatics Complex. National League Championship continues. And our next game features the Los Angeles Athletic Club taking on Alumni. LA in the dark caps, Alumni in the white. Cammie Craig and Greg Meskel here with you from Berkeley. Hadi Farid, Michael Goldenberg, our officials in this one as we get things started. And Alumni starts with the ball and then promptly throws it away. And LA comes up with the takeaway. There's Mark Urban. Pushing ahead, quick try, field block. And new life here on offense for Los Angeles. Their head coach, Dave Carlson. Alumni led by head coach Robert Lynn, also Eric Sturgeon, Andrew Rigo, Griffin Lerman on their staff. Olympian Shea Lapine in the goal for Alumni. And he controls here, will push ahead. This is Andrew Rigo. Nick Fadden, now Rigo looking inside, shot clock to 6. From the outside, letting it fly. That's off the post and away on the attempt from JT Sarmento. Noah Hodge in the goal for Los Angeles. Here's Connor Virgie, former USC standout. Virgie moving in. Working around the perimeter. Inside now. Lotero working in close. And the ball changes hands, and not a very deep bench for the LA Athletic Club here today as you look over, and we can take a look there with Coach Dave Carlson on the bench. Just 4 subs available, so could be a lengthy weekend here for the boys in blue.
Playing 2 games in one day, you're going to wish your bench was a little bit deeper than that, but hey, more opportunity to get into the flow of the game.
There's a positive silver lining. 6-on-5 chance here for Alumni. Alumni on the attack. Ball comes near side. Side's coming even now. And a save in close. Hodge able to turn that one away. So scoreless here in the early stages. Alumni and LA Athletic Club. And you see LA go to the live time sub here already. So they're going to be cognizant of their smaller bench. And that one's dumped aside.
For whatever reason, not feeling comfortable just ripping that shot.
Let it fly. Maybe thinking about the counterattack.
Maybe.
Not wanting to launch the counter. Sean Grab. Ordinary called as he moves that one ahead. Lenhart, former UCLA Bruin. Here's Rigo. Plenty of room here to operate. Letting it fly, and a save by Noah Hodge on the attempt from Grab. Sounds like we've got a dog on the pool deck here. Not in the water, don't worry. Opportunity inside again, turning towards the cage. Just an ordinary there on the big spin from Lotero. That one outside the goal on the try. Mark Vonderveit, another USC guy, trying to put that one away. Lenhart now moving in, ordinary called. Fadden. Here's Enlow.
Ooh.
Enlow.
A little extra there.
You know it's physical when you see feet in the air. So doubles his money there. First the offensive, and then he is excluded.
It's no fun.
6-on-5 now for Los Angeles. Skips that shot high.
We're still scoreless with 3:41 on the clock. Makes for a long first quarter.
Yeah, lots of swimming.
Lots of swimming.
Not a lot of stopping.
And we're warmed up now.
Yeah, if they knew this was going to happen, they would have taken the warm-up easier. And now we see a goal from the outside. Andrew Rigo hitting from deep. And gets the Alumni squad on the board with our first goal in this one, a 1-0 lead now. And each team will get into their bench. Rigo, another USC guy, and was there during that epic run of championships for the men. I believe he has 5 national title rings, including a redshirt year there at USC, which is just a whole lot of jewelry.
A little bonus here. That's the way to do it.
Exactly, right? Again, if you're in the area, in the Berkeley area, free admission to all the games this weekend. So if you want to come down to Cal, games going on now through early this evening, and then 4 more games tomorrow, our championship, 12:45 p.m. LA, no look inside, backhand is a beauty. Clayton Snyder.
Great pass there straight to the hand of the center. Made it easy to rip a quick backhand off. Those are the best when you don't have to get up and out to the ball. They're just placed lovely on a silver platter for you, and you're just to do your work.
Second look here at Snyder. Does it take a while to develop that feel of where the goal is behind you and just kind of knowing how you can give that little backhand and it's going to be on the money?
Definitely. When you're a younger player, kind of building that awareness, you know, there's plenty of times where you're shooting the ball outside the post or not realizing where you're at or the geography of the cage, and it definitely takes some time, and then it becomes a feel, right? You're not even looking, you can like feel where you're at in front of the cage, and I'm sure goalies experience something quite similar of just knowing the post is there. I'm about, 2.5 meters out from the cage.
It reminds you of like a center fielder in baseball. They have a good idea of where the wall is in the stadium, how many steps from, say, the warning track it would be to try and climb the wall, pull back a home run, that sort of thing.
There
Beautiful move inside, a save there, Lapine. It's a nice twirling maneuver. Snyder finally surfaces after that move in close.
Right, it just becomes muscle memory. Your body knows what to do and where everything needs to go.
On the other end, stopped in close. That was Lance Morrison in close. He couldn't connect. Hodge now will push this one out. Over the top, inside water, and an ordinary.
He was probably hoping for a little bit something more than an ordinary there.
Russell Renteria working in close. Now goes inside. Snyder again. This time he's stopped. Beat Lapine earlier, but... And now we get a timeout called. So Alumni will call for time with 1:23 to play in a fast-moving first quarter. A 1-1 score. Shea Lapine, part of Team USA in London. Strong run at UCLA and has been the Alumni keeper now for a few years. Again, for those joining us on Facebook and on YouTube, give a shout out. Let us know where you're watching from. We'll be sure to give you a shout out back. Our first game saw people watching from all over. Mexico, Iowa, Australia, Hawaii. Wayne checking in from Southern California. Shelby from Salem, Oregon. A lot of love for Oregon early this morning here.
Oregon is in the house. Played with Elsie Wines from Beaverton, Oregon in the 2008-2012 Olympic Games, and she also was a Cal Bear herself, so we're in her hood today.
Great connection there to Elsie. Back to the live game here. That shot attempt sailing high. Under a minute to play, first quarter. And a timeout called now by LA. The FINA rules, 1 timeout per quarter, use it or lose it.
This will be the last possession of this quarter for LA. It'd be great to get one goal in and go into the next quarter leading. So we're a 1-1 game here. LA wants to go into the next quarter 2-1.
How much does that momentum really carry you forward? Do you get a sense, do you recall kind of getting a boost? We scored late in the first, and that starts to carry us over now to the second?
Definitely, and I think, you know, going in tied into the next quarter is not a bad position to be in, but obviously you want to win each quarter, right? And so if you're breaking the whole game down into smaller goals, you're going quarter by quarter and even more so possession by possession. But definitely it is momentum gained by going in up, right? You can have a little bit more wiggle room in the mistakes that you potentially may be making, right?
Timeout comes to a close, a 1-1 game between Alumni and Los Angeles. First quarter action here. And Noah Hodge, the LA goalkeeper, throws it away. Bad pass, miscommunication, stolen by Lenhart. Alumni on the move now. Lenhart cruising in. He has the advantage. Takes a stroke, goes lob, and puts it home. And Daniel Lenhart able to hit after the bad pass and the exact opposite of what they had hoped to accomplish.
Frustrating for LA here. Last thing you want to do is take your time to call a timeout and turn the ball over right away at the beginning of that possession.
Great look there at the lob attempt by Lenhart.
Here they regain another possession, though. Tie it up before going into the next quarter.
I always like your glass half full optimism here. Throw the ball away, give up a counter. Hang on, you're going to get one more chance.
That's right.
Here is that last attack by LA. Shot clock to 13. About 7 seconds separate the shot and the game clock. Looking from the outside. And a takeaway. Just a steal. Kevin Witt picks the pocket on the perimeter. Running out of time now. 3 seconds left. Goes lob. A save by Hodge. And that's all for the first quarter. Alumni, strong finish here in the first. They lead 2-1. We take a timeout and return with the second. You're watching live from Berkeley, California, right here on USA Water Polo TV.
You never know where the next Olympian might be coming from, but it could be water polo, and that starts with Splash Ball. Splash Ball is a program for children ages 5 through 9 designed to introduce them to the sport of water polo while promoting water safety. Improve swimming skills and learn a sport you'll love for a lifetime. For more information, visit splashballusa.org.
Cap 7 is the proud sponsor of USA Water Polo. Cap 7 is the best ball in the world.
Second quarter begins, and a 2-1 lead for Alumni over LA Athletic Club. LA controls that opening sprint. And we were just talking about this during the break, Cammy, but the pace of this is markedly different from our first game, which was heavy counter, heavy up and down. Lots of drawn exclusions as we see a 6-on-5 here and a goal. And LA goes in front. Excuse me, LA ties it up rather. 2-2 on that score.
Great quick pass. Good connection. Smiles after that. Happy about that connection.
Nice look right in front, the redirect, and Delegde pushing that one home.
Different pacing game, like you said. A little bit more controlled, slower, methodical. Because these guys are taking their time working through each possession.
You know, part of that pace of the earlier game was also the turnovers. That just naturally led to up and down. Alumni from distance. Count it there from deep. John Wall. So right back, they answer. This has got to be from, what, 9 meters away?
2 fakes. Found that high left corner, put it right in.
(3-2) Alumni, so things picking up a bit here to start the second quarter.
Trying to create some movement on that 1-2 side, working for their center who's facing that side.
Looking inside here. But from the outside, a lot of speed, but off the mark. Nathan Puentes on the attempt.
It's funny, we talk about the difference in the speed of the game, and makes me think of the different teams I've played in the past that have that difference in play. When I played the Italians, it was a much quicker game, lots of counterattack. The Greeks were slower, more methodical, really brought the game down to a controlled pace.
Turn inside, Hodge knocks it away, and that's part of the challenge too, right? Not to fall into the opponent's pace.
That's right, you don't want to be hypnotized into it, right?
Dangerous pass there, tipped up and stolen. And Wall comes up with it now back to Lapine, and here's Alumni. Lenhart goes bar down, that one dancing on the goal line, but not in danger of going in, and Hodge will come over to gather. Five and a half to play, first half. 3-2, the lead for Alumni. Again, back at it. The big turn, the big save, Lapine. Lotero, a nice spin inside. He's had some quick moves inside.
Great move. I mean, fluid. Ball in, nice strong turn. He's creating some time for himself. He takes one more moment, get up on those legs and have a nice finish. He's going to see those in the back of the cage. It's easy to feel rushed in there, right? There's not a lot of time. Crashes coming everywhere.
That ball sails over the cage, and they'll rule it a tip on the far side. So Hodge got a piece of that. And it will come in at 2 meters, under 5 to play. Yeah, definitely an imaginary clock in at 2 meters, much like a quarterback dropping back to pass, where you've got to have a sense of how long is too long before you have to get rid of that ball.
Right. The spider senses. Can you feel the crash coming? Is your arm about to get ripped off?
The spider senses.
Get it in the cage.
Yes. Offensive. So the tip out leads to a new shot clock, but then they give it right away. And Los Angeles takes control. LA, deliberate attack here. Charles Olson now goes to Puentes. Shot clock to 5. Urban, and they'll dump this one aside. Ball turns over off the ball, and Alumni will control. Here's Rigo, who has a goal already. Lenhart also has one. He controls. Looking inside, wide open, save Hodge. Excellent inside passing, but Noah Hodge with the turnaway. Seen some beautiful movement without the ball here this morning, getting open in space.
So much work that needs to be done before the ball's handed to you.
The exclusion. 6-on-5 for Los Angeles.
You have one ref that keeps the eye on the center throughout the possession and the other that follows the ball. It's important. There's a lot of heavy work going on in there and set away from the ball, which led to an exclusion. You don't see that a lot, but if things get heated in there, it's honored.
And they deliver on the 6-on-5 after Wall is excluded. It's a goal from the outside by Vonderveit. Second look here. Mark Vonderveit. Really grew to become a key piece of that USC attack by the time he was an upperclassman. And ties this game at 3 with 3:14 to play here in the first half. These two teams, Alumni, came into the weekend 4th place overall at 3-3. LA right behind them in 5th at 2-4. So those two were jockeying for a position there in the middle of the standings. Shout out to Kate watching from Lake Oswego, Oregon. More Oregon in the house. Pacific Northwest dominating this morning here on our live stream. Georgina checking in. Her kids were high school water polo players. Very cool to have everyone joining us here on our live broadcast. Dangerous pass into no man's land. Easy steal for Lapis. And Lapine will direct traffic. Pushing ahead now. Here's Robert Lynn. Deals that off to Kevin Witt. Robert Lynn, perhaps the most experienced player in the pool here for Alumni. That shot wide. Olympian for Team USA. Another USC standout in his time.
It's so fun to see these players continuing to play at this level, and they've all crossed paths or played with each other at one time or another, whether they played against each other in college, played together on the national team, or even grew up playing club together. It's a small world, our water polo world, and it's easy to say that we've all been in the same pool at the same time at one point or another.
Long try there is off the mark. Virgie unable to hit. How long before you're in the water just dominating at Masters Nationals? Is that going to happen soon? Will you play Masters and just crush?
I don't know. I've been swimming every day, so watch out. Been keeping the training program up.
That would be a rude awakening for a lot of folks come this June in Irvine. Timeout called, 3-3. Alumni and the LA Athletic Club all even. More action to follow here as we work our way through our first round here in the championship tournament. The New York Athletic Club coming up next, taking on USA Collegiate. And then at 1 p.m. Pacific, USA University takes on the Cal Golden Bears. And then that will set things up for our semifinals. We know that Olympic Club is already into our first semifinal. And it all leads to tomorrow. Placement games starting at 9 a.m. with our 7th place game, then our 5th place game, 3rd place, and we go to the championship at 12:45 p.m.
In all seriousness, the fitness level that water polo demands is no joke. And when you go in, you want to be in the shape that the sport calls for because you want to be the one pushing others around. You don't want to be the one being pushed around. And that was constantly the motivation in my training. You want to be the stronger one, you want to be the faster one.
And if you don't feel like you're at that level, then you maybe don't want to be in the game.
That's right. It's hard to sign yourself up for that.
6-on-5 here, and it's a goal.
It's what we like to call a donut, right over the top of the goalie's head.
Perfect on a Saturday morning. And Wall able to hit on the 6-on-5, a 4-3 lead for Alumni. Live stats available of all these matches at thefosh.net. You can go back and look up box scores of previous games or follow along live right now, thefosh.net. And you'll be filled in on all the action from a stat standpoint going on here in Berkeley. And a timeout called with 1:14 to play. This is where I am not a huge fan of the 1 timeout per quarter, use it or lose it, because you see timeouts you normally wouldn't see in the flow of a game. This one maybe would have happened regardless, but the timeout that happens at the end of every first quarter, that would never normally happen. People would bank their timeouts for later.
Yep.
So it slows it down early on, but then I guess the benefit is that when you get late in the game, there is not this avalanche of timeouts because everyone only has one each.
Sure, and you're absolutely right. Using 1 per quarter doesn't seem like the natural flow of the game. And when they are banked to the end of the game, when the coaches are using their timeouts kind of closer to the end of the game, there is that bit of intensity that builds up with it, right? So when you're going into games that are 1-goal games like we're seeing here today, you're seeing that kind of back and forth with the timeouts and the strategy and the game situation that goes into that. But I think you're right. It does have a little bit of a lack of flow when you're using a 1 per quarter.
Because you're right. At the end of the game, the timeouts build up, and I think everyone's fired up. So like, you don't mind if there's a couple in a row because you're like, what is the play going to be?
Yeah, exactly.
But here, it's like, let's get on with it. We're trying to get to the good parts.
Exactly.
A little more than a minute to play here. First half action. Long try. That is off the mark. And now Alumni launching the counter, and Kevin Witt is wide open. That's saved away by Hodge. He couldn't get that ball fast enough, calling for it from Lapine. Alumni will keep the ball. And a new shot clock, under a minute to play in the first half. Lenhart moving in. Left-hander gives a look. He'll go to Lynn, looking from outside. Shot clock to 10. Playing catch, Lenhart fires, and they'll score. That one able to slide just past Noah Hodge.
You had your center in there doing some really great work, holding great position on that 4-5 side, giving those guys the time and the patience to find those windows and those lanes to get the ball into the cage. And
a great second look from our crew there, and you can see for sure that was a goal from Lenhart. Able to hit and puts Alumni in front 5-3. With just 28 seconds left in the first half. Shot clock is off. Inside, a battle again, triple team. Lotero gets his money's worth there at 2 meters. He is battling in close, looking for space, and defense all over him. There's some contact and nothing doing. We've reached the end of the first half. Competitive action here between Alumni and the LA Athletic Club. It's Alumni in front 5-3 at the break. We take a timeout and return the third quarter coming up. You're watching National League Championship action live on USA Water Polo TV.
You never know where the next Olympian might be coming from, but it could be water polo, and that starts with Splash Ball. Splash Ball is a program for children ages 5 through 9 designed to introduce them to the sport of water polo while promoting water safety. Improve swimming skills and learn a sport you'll love for a lifetime. For more information, visit splashballusa.org.
Cap 7 is the proud sponsor of USA Water Polo. Cap 7 is the best ball in the world.
Third quarter begins, and it's Alumni 5, LA Athletic Club 3. The Olympic champ, Cammie Craig. Greg Meskel here with you from the Speaker Aquatics Complex. It's the LA Athletic Club in the blue caps, Alumni in the white. Quick shot and a save. New goalkeeper in for Alumni. That's Eli Bonilla, who has come on. A lot of USC on this Alumni team. Dangerous pass there. Alumni battling. They're going to build on that 5-3 advantage. Shot clock to 5. A long way now. They'll dump it aside. Smart move there by Wesley Lincoln. Puts that one away. LA back on the attack from the outside. Bonilla is there. And now he'll take a look, try and start the counter. Looking to push ahead to Fadden. And in the meantime, off the ball, the exclusion. And a 6-on-5 here for Alumni.
Alumni now in a position to make it a 6-3 game.
And that'd be big in a game that hasn't been high scoring. Field block nearly beat the keeper. And we talked about one of the issues for LA was going to be depth today. There's only a couple of guys on their bench. Quite literally. So they are in a tough situation to be able to maintain that energy for 4 quarters.
Having only 4 subs is a difficult place to be, especially if you're playing 2 games in one day. This is just game 1 for them.
And the challenge, too, in this advancement sort of situation is you want to play well to move on, but then you've got to be able to come back with another. And they're going to score that goal right at the horn. And that's a big one for the LA Athletic Club.
Back to a 1-goal game.
Yeah, Vonderveit able to hit there and make it a 5-4 game. Let's take a look here. Moving in right as the shot clock expires. He's able to go cross cage on the bounce.
Stepping in at 5 meters with a few fakes doesn't get it better than that. That's the opportunity you want to finish.
And so he makes it 5-4 with 5:53 to play here in the third.
Looks like Alumni just subbed 6 for 6. We got 1 player coming in and out for LA Athletic Club.
And you know, not trying to make fun. It's just that is part of the struggle here for LA is that Alumni does have a deep bench. They can bring in fresh bodies.
So it becomes a mental game, right? The mindset of just grinding out full games and knowing you're going to have to play a lot of minutes.
Pass inside, tipped away, and
a lot of help there. 4 defensive players back.
Maybe they can just try and spread things out, slow things down a little bit to try to. They've done a nice job avoiding staying out of counterattacks, things that would really increase fatigue. And you see their deliberate approach on offense here, using a lot of their shot clock. Direct try there from deep, an easy stop for Bonilla on the attempt.
Even being wise with dumping the ball, if it's not there, the opportunity's not there, not feeding the counterattack, and just dropping it in the corner. That's way okay.
Vang. Rigo. Looking for Enlow, shot clock to 5. Enlow lets it fly, a little too much air under that one. As it goes out of play, under 5 minutes to play now, approaching 4.5 in this third quarter. Ordinary called there on the perimeter. Fuentes. Virgie, Vonderveit. Step up, takes a look, being dragged down from behind, deals it off at the last second, and they score. And we are tied at 5. Clayton Snyder has another.
A bit of an element of surprise there. You wouldn't think that he was going to be passing off that ball straight to the center's hand for a dry pass. Center just kicks back, finds the cage.
And I'm not sure in a perfect world he would have passed that ball. He's being dragged down from behind.
Right.
Snyder was there.
I love when things work out that way. Here, you take this. Okay.
Deal. Clayton Snyder, former stand-out at Pepperdine. Also perhaps the most famous participant in the National League from his acting days. Were you a big watcher of Lizzie McGuire back in the day, Cammie?
I watched my fair share of Lizzie McGuire.
Then you're probably familiar with the presence of Clayton Snyder in that show.
Yes. Clayton also helped out the women's national team for a little while and trained with us. We needed some extra bodies.
You might have said you needed some extras.
Yeah, there you go.
Hey, there's more jokes like that all weekend long right here. The exclusion. Power play here for LA. They had trailed by 2. It's now a 5-5 game, a chance to go up by a goal. Sides coming even right in front, off the bar, long rebound, controlled, second effort, and that is out of play. So they can't convert on the power play. Had a couple of cracks at it in close. And back to even strength, here comes Alumni.
The way you balance your offenses in this game is so important, and the time it takes for you to find that balance and get into it right away will make or break the effectiveness of your offense.
Hodge there, able to come up with the stop, center cage. That triggers the counter. LA now on the move, backhand, and a save by Bonilla. Little 5-on-5 here. There's a couple of players slow to get back. Kevin Witt tipped out by Hodge. Got the right arm on that. Ball will come back in at 2 meters. 2:21 to play. Third quarter. Looking inside. Breaking free. And wave it off. Offensive foul. Demetrius Lapos, and probably too much there. He already had the ball, a little theatrics.
Yeah, there's a little back and forth there going with the center and defender. It's very much a cat and mouse game, you know. When should you be holding, when should you not? When should you be working for the call, when should you not? And kind of having that feel and the pulse of the game.
From the outside, off the bar again. Deep attempt there from Urban. So Alumni has been able to work in close. They've looked more for some of the center play. LA a bit more content to try and do some work from 5 meters and beyond with their shooters.
I spoke about having a good balance early on and getting into a good setup as quickly as possible. It creates time, it creates opportunity.
6-on-5 called after the kick out on Fuentes, and Alumni will call for time. They looked ready to put that one on goal, and instead we'll talk things over. Robert Lynn had that ball ready to fire on Cage.
You saw the fire in his eyes. A born competitor, that one.
Don't call the timeout, Coach. Ready to light the lamp. In the meantime, a timeout is called. 5-5 is the score here in the third. This one, a close one throughout. LA has battled back from a 5-3 deficit to tie things 5-5. Live stats available on the Fosh, thefosh.net. Check it out. You get all the information on all these games, live stats, and when this is all done, they also put together a full leaderboard. We'll tell you who the leading scorer is here at the National League. And if you're in the area, come on down and join us. Free admission to every match this weekend here at the Speaker Aquatics Complex. Lenhart on the attack here out of the timeout. Alumni looking to go back in front. Here's Lynn. Faking and shooting. Got that shot he wanted. It's a save by Hodge. And the sides are even after the 6-on-5. We go the other direction now. Vonderveit moving and deals it off weak side, and LA has gone in front 6-5.
Great awareness, great team passing. Just letting it kind of pop down the line there.
Triple team coming, give it off weak side. And able to shovel that one home.
Wasn't a perfect pass, but it didn't need to be with how much they were making the goalie move there.
Mark Urban puts Los Angeles in front 6-5. 3 unanswered here from the shorthanded LA squad. And it's another pressure on Alumni here. They got off to the great start. Lenhart, Enlow throws it in reverse and backing down low at 2 meters. Shot clock to 5. Splitting a double. Triple now. Taken away. Trouble here for Alumni. LA's off to the races. They'll put this one out in front. Olsen moving in. He's knocked down there and doesn't have any reinforcements, and wisely uses their third quarter timeout here with just 9 seconds to play and nobody there to help him out on the break.
Things are slowing down just a bit.
Yeah, as you get into this fourth quarter now, just about. Not as much sprinting back and forth. Winner here, they get the pleasure of taking on the Olympic Club coming up at 2:15 p.m. Our next 2 games will determine our other semifinal. The New York Athletic Club on the way, taking on USA Collegiate, who is looking for their first win this year in National League competition, and then University against the home team, the Cal Golden Bears, all coming up here at the National League Championship.
LA has 9 seconds on the clock. Maybe take the game up by 2. Going into the fourth quarter, which would be a great position to be sitting in.
And just from a momentum standpoint, which we've talked about, to take a 2-goal deficit and flip it to a 2-goal advantage going into the final 8 minutes would be huge. Let's see what they can do here. 5 seconds left. 3 seconds left. 2, 1. Have to hurry. Won't get it off in time. Not aware of the clock running down, and 3 quarters complete, but Los Angeles has rallied back. They're in front 6-5. Fourth and final coming up right here, live on USA Water Polo TV.
You never know where the next Olympian might be coming from, but it could be water polo, and that starts with Splash Ball. Splash Ball is a program for children ages 5 through 9 designed to introduce them to the sport of water polo while promoting water safety. Improve swimming skills and learn a sport you'll love for a lifetime. For more information, visit splashballusa.org.
Cap 7 is the proud sponsor of USA Water Polo. Cap 7 is the best ball in the world.
One quarter left. LA Athletic Club Alumni Los Angeles leads 6-5. And the opening sprint controlled by Alumni. And depth has been a question mark all day long for this LA team. By the looks of their bench, they're down another man. So we take a look over to the LA bench, and Russell Renteria has a bunch of ice taped to his shoulder, so unless that's just temporary, they're now down to just 3 people on their bench. And they've only got 8 more minutes to go. Shot attempt sailing wide, but that's the advantage here for Alumni. Their depth, can they take advantage and recapture the lead? LA looking inside. Big turn. Bonilla took that one right in the numbers. Came up big to block that with his chest, and will go the other direction. That was Lotero, who's been a bull in a china shop at 2 meters with the turn and fire.
You can tell his mentality as a center is just put the ball in the back of the cage. We're not working for calls. We're not kicking the ball out. We're putting the ball in the cage.
I can admire that. I'm here to score the ball. That's what he is looking to do.
It's part of the job role.
On the other end, Lenhart double teamed, and they'll dump this aside. A little more than a minute gone by, fourth quarter. National League Championship here in Berkeley, California. Busy day on campus. Cal Day going on, so lots of folks up and about early. Shot clock to 5. From the outside, another for Los Angeles. They go in front by 2. Mark Urban.
That's a tough one. There wasn't a lot of movement on that possession. Just a lot of sitting and waiting, up and shot.
Yeah, you can see on the replay here, everybody waiting around, letting Mark Urban do what he does.
I'd like to see Alumni answer back right away. As an athlete playing these close games, these were the most enjoyable. I mean, every game was an enjoyable game, but when you're having to really think and strategize with game situation and knowing the clock and knowing what's available to you, that's where the fun really comes in.
So you'd be the type of person down 2 to say, all right, like, let's get this one right back.
Yes, absolutely.
Bring it inside to 2 meters.
Yeah. Let me open up for you. Let's get the job done.
7-5 lead for Los Angeles. They have scored 4 unanswered. This was a 5-3 lead for Alumni.
As spectators, watching that on the scoreboard is a much different feel than when you're feeling it in the game.
That one almost ricocheted off the cage, off Hodge and in, but he's able to hang on. And how so? How is that different? Obviously, we've seen the 4-goal swing here. How does it compare to being in the water?
Like I said, it's more of a feeling because you're experiencing it and you're feeling the having to line up every time after a goal is scored. You can kind of feel that somewhat slipping away, and it can be a mental challenge for sure.
And to add to it, a penalty. So a penalty called against Alumni, and now LA can try and make this a 3-goal advantage. They go to Mark Urban, looking for another.
Things that could potentially help Alumni get a momentum shift going their way.
Perhaps a block, not the case.
Perhaps a block, not
Mark
the
Urban.
case. A good field block, a breakaway on a counterattack.
Not Tom's Urban, but Mark Urban able to hit. And he has put LA in front 8-5. That was a very inside LA Live joke there about the restaurant Tom's Urban that our viewers may or may not recognize. In any event, it's an 8-5 lead for Los Angeles.
Sorry, Greg, but it went right over my head.
That's fair. You know, there's been a lot of development since your time in South Central. They've really, you know, stepped up the restaurants, everything in the area by campus there at USC.
They sure have.
And that's the 3rd goal, a hat trick here for Urban. 2 for Vonderveit, 2 for Snyder.
USC is hosting the women's NCAA tournament this year. Excited to see it back at USC.
Yeah, nice little run there. They had the men's tournament in December and now get the women's, and should be a great 3 days there at the Uitangsu Aquatic Center. Did you get any time at that pool, or was that after you when they did all the remodel at USC?
The remodel happened after I left, so I did not get any time at that pool. But
you are well represented there, though. There are plaques and such that honor your time.
Very proud of that.
8-5 lead here for Los Angeles. Here's Witt. Lenhart tries to put it home from deep, and that's stopped. And if you're Alumni now, you have to just be in a bit of shock in that you had this game, not by any means won, but you're in control, you're ahead by 2, and now you've let up 5 straight goals.
That's a tough place to be mentally. You can see them trying to make their efforts and figure out kind of where they can find those opportunities on the offensive end. Defensively, you know, it's just about not letting them score any more goals and working through these offensive opportunities.
And like we say so often, starts with defense, right? So they get a stop here. They force a turnover. Now can they make that translate into offense? Lenhart thought about catch and shoot. Now going inside. Triple team, blue caps everywhere, and Virgie coming over for the steal.
That's tough to try to put the ball into set when you got 4 people on that bottom line. It's just not a lot of room.
LA in no hurry here, holding the 3-goal advantage. They go back inside. A scrum for the ball, and tipped away and stolen.
At this point, Alumni still has time, but they're starting to race the clock a bit.
And turnovers there will not help their cause. Under 3 to play, down 3. That gets you into a tight spot where you've got to be flawless on offense.
That's right. Watching LA really slow down the game right now, be really thoughtful with what they're doing.
Ball turns over here, and Alumni will use their timeout with 2:41 to play. 4th quarter. And LA slowing things down, pulling it back out. And that's one of the advantages in water polo that you might not see in other sports. Maybe football is another example, but a team gets a lead and then they don't stop trying, but they also take their foot off the gas a bit. It's more about burning time off the clock. So you typically won't see the 3-goal lead jump to 4. It's going to keep you in the game a little bit longer here if Alumni can figure out a way to score.
Right, they're doing more low-risk movements and chances out there.
Yeah, definitely a risk-averse sport when you hold a big lead late. But Alumni, they just haven't been able to get things going offensively since that early surge that got them up 5-3. They were hitting some outside shots, developing some other things offensively, and that's sort of dried up here in the second half. Alumni just 18% shooting in this one, 5 for 27, and 1 of 4 on the advantage. That's off the bar. Rebound in close, a bobble, and a penalty called. That first rebound looked like it was going to be good had there been a clean grab, but this might even be a better situation.
It's a far better opportunity, 5-meter shot. Like I said, those second efforts to pick up the rebounds is what we would call a garbage goal, picking it up off the water and getting into the back of the cage, but this led to a great opportunity for Alumni.
Here's Rigo, scored earlier, and a chance to score a big goal here. And he does. Andrew Rigo, clutch goal there for Alumni if they want to hang around in this one, now trailing 8-6 with 2:26 to play. And here's a look at the penalty try once more. More action to follow. We'll have the New York Athletic Club coming up, taking on USA Collegiate. That'll be once we are done here. Again, LA peeling time off the clock. Hodge hanging on to it.
This can also be a dangerous game as they move closer and closer to Alumni's cage, right?
Yeah, now they've dumped it on Alumni's end. This will set things up in the half court for Alumni.
Less time wasted in counterattack and transition. They're already sitting there ready to go.
And now an exclusion off the ball, and they score here. Things are about to get real interesting. Alumni on the advantage. Lotero excluded. Enlow gives a look. Here's Lenhart. Enlow now around the horn. Bad pass. They throw it out of play. And a 6-on-5 is squandered. It could have become a 1-goal game for Alumni.
You can feel the intensity and the pace pick up in these high-pressure situations, and you'll find those overpasses or a little bit harder passes or quicker passes coming.
Now on the other end, a little bit of a broken play here, and LA again can take more time off, and an exclusion going from bad to worse. LA now point-blank range, and they opt to take more time off. As we fall under a minute to play here in the fourth. No rush here from LA on the advantage. Sides coming even now. Couple of fakes. Post and in. That will seal the deal. Score it for Los Angeles and Mark Vonderveit. And what had been a couple of close minutes here just moments ago where Alumni was within a goal, Vonderveit closes things out.
Playing a little bit of 4-on-3 there. You had 2 or 4 players in the backcourt.
And you used the phrase earlier, what goes up must come down, and he waited out the goalie.
Yes.
9-6 Los Angeles, they'll be moving on. Save there by Hodge on the attempt, and a strong effort by Noah Hodge. And high fives on the LA bench. This is an undermanned squad that is moving on to the semifinals here in the National League Championship.
Yesterday was National High Five Day. I like it.
And we've seen a couple of that carrying over here today. Just a few seconds left now. I'll toss this one up as the shot clock was about to expire, and Bonilla will put it in play. One last shot, sails wide, and that's all for this one. Los Angeles takes it 9-6. They defeat Alumni. And so Los Angeles moving on to meet the Olympic Club at 2:15 p.m. in our first semifinal. Coming up next, New York Athletic Club USA Collegiate. And as we continue first round action here, you're watching the National League Championship Tournament. Stay with us live on USA Water Polo TV.